What's up everybody, Brett here, and I'm back with our Battle Brothers Beast and Exploration Let's Play. We're on day 73, picking up where we left off last time. So that last fight, guys, we walked away from that with several injuries, some of which are pretty severe. They're going to take multiple days to recover, so because of that, we are going to accept this contract here to escort an envoy down to Seftenberg, hopefully, or Seftenberg. So hopefully something terrible doesn't happen along the way. And just a quick warning, I've been listening to a lot of Kansas and Blue Oyster Cult. So if you hear me humming in the midst of some battle or something, Blue Oyster Cult or Kansas, don't fear the Reaper or Carry On or something like that. I'm not going crazy, so just bear that in mind. Alright, so where we left off last time, what was I thinking about? Okay, so reading comments. And there were a lot of very good suggestions in there. I want you guys to know that I do read the comments. Most of the time I reply to them. So for those of you who leave the comments, you definitely know that I do read them. But for those of you who are watching who aren't really that invested in the comment section or giving me tips and tricks and things like that, I want you to know that I have this game mostly figured out, but it's still nice to get some constructive criticism from time to time. And a very good suggestion was to also give Ragnar the Slow rally the troops. Because he is our standard bearer, he does have high resolve, and we can certainly get him higher. And having 2 instances of rally the troops could certainly be useful in battles to come. So not just relying on Aerosail Darkhar to be our sergeant, but also having a kind of a second bastion of pretty good leadership. The same person, I believe, also suggested just getting our resolve higher. We certainly will as we level. I want everyone to be at least 50. And so you'll see here we have big weaknesses here like Scaredy, but that's mostly because he has the trait Craven. So, you know, it's going to be difficult to get him to that 50 mark, whereas others might easily make it to 60 if if that's something that we want to pursue. But that resolve really plays a big role in whether or not things like witches or the Alps can control us. So that's something that we definitely need to look into. I was also kind of going through the perks. And a perk that I haven't really paid much attention to is Resilient. So it says here, keep it together. Any negative status effect with a finite duration, you can read into that. Bleeding, Charmed, has its duration reduced by 1. And I assume, I'm actually not sure if sleep applies, because once you're asleep, you stay asleep until you die, essentially. So that actually isn't that useful for that. But Bleeding and Charmed is great. This may also affect poison. Interesting. But if we were taking lots of hag fights, I could see us getting a trait like that. Let's see, what else did I want to cover? I also mapped out some other of our brother's future perks. So I have a really good idea of what to do with Hondo. We're going to take Fearsome. We're going to get Underdog as well as Lone Wolf. So that's 3 right off the bat. We're going to get a refund on Student. And then depending on what kind of tier 2 weapon we have, hopefully a great sword, or tier 3 weapon I should say, we'll probably get a great sword and give him sword mastery and kind of duck him out of the formation, put him all the way off to the side, move our formation over, and give him some room to be a lone wolf in our fights, and that should work really well for us. I went into Grafenhaven, I sold some things. Oh yeah, so here's something I want to share with you guys, something that I noticed that I don't believe I'd ever seen before. So if you take a look in the barber, when I was looking at the different body styles, I wanted to kind of make some of our brothers more unique looking. And I went down here to Lance to see what he looked like, because he is a subscriber's character, Lance Glenfield. And when we got him, he was a flagellant. So it's a unique body type to the flagellants. You'll see here they have all these scars. And if you change him, you can't get it back. So all these we have 2 flagellants. Ragnar is also one, and they have these kind of unique body types. So that was something I never noticed, and it's a really nice detail. And I made him look kind of cool. He's going to be a pretty sick character in the late game. He has some really good melee stats, and yeah. So unfortunately, he hasn't really been able to prove himself yet since we switched him out of his spear and shield. And I really want to get him a better weapon. He's just been kind of getting shot to death as soon as the battle starts. So maybe there's something we can do about that later. May honestly just be a better idea to give him back a spear and shield until we get a better weapon for him. And perhaps, he's only level 6, so once we get him something like Battle Forged, he won't take nearly as much damage. But anyway, okay. So we could also use the temple to get rid of some of these injuries. If, let's say, we knew we had a fight very soon, might honestly be worth it to get rid of this injured kneecap. He's going to have that for so long, but it's so expensive. So, as a way to kind of counteract that, we are just going to do this escort mission. Hope we don't get jumped, because there's definitely a possibility that we get ambushed or have some sort of event along the way. And this is really just us getting paid, you know, pretty much 2 days pay to walk this guy down here. And we're going to take the road, because if there is some sort of random event, I'd rather not have it in the mountainous terrain. So Goblin Raiders. And the Bloodbound are chasing them. We could have joined in on that fight pretty easily. We probably should have. Just to get some gear and experience. We could have hung back with our injured parties and helped the... Oh, there's some raiders there. We're going to make it here before them. I'm not that worried. And we need to watch our medical supplies, because they're going to tell us whenever we get a heal off. Alright, he slips in. And now we're just kind of hanging out waiting for him, I think. Oh, wow. So these are legendary throwing weapons. Which kind of sucks. They're super expensive. And they're really deadly. But they're consumable. I really wish I would use throwing weapons in this game if you could recharge them off of ammunition. But I don't think that's the case. Also worth noting in here, they have a warbow, as well as some heavy crossbows, which we would love to get. We could honestly afford the warbow, but I think the prices here are pretty bad. As a matter of fact, we should check our shield. Yeah, our shield's telling us to stay away. Check out our provisions. We can grab some more grain. Yeah, give us an extra day for cheap. We're not great on tools, and we're not great on ammunition. I think I'll pick up one ammunition. We'll leave these tools. Those are ridiculously expensive. And I guess we're just waiting around. So we definitely want to be camping while we're waiting. That speeds up the healing process. So while pulling inventory duty, burn free the solid alerts you to a bit of dire news. A good sum of food has gone bad. Simple and to the point, you nod and thank him. Man, that's like what we just bought, probably. So that sucks. But we really want to... I mean, we're just waiting here. So this might not be worth it, but at the very least, we're healing, which is something we really needed to do. Let's actually stop for a second and check. So, most of the damage is gone. Our brothers are mostly healed up with the exception of Bad Eyes. It's just these injuries that are going to take a while, but it does go faster as long as we are encamped. This is taking forever. This is a little ridiculous, actually. Yeah, what took you so long, dude? So we have to go back there? That's kind of unbelievable. We could take the mountains. No, I think my logic still holds sound. We don't want necessarily... We want to fight these brigands. Let's pause. We may. They're just thugs and poachers. It would just be a way to get experience and to generate some gold from this very long, very terrible quest we're on. And I honestly don't think we'll get injured. Let's take this fight. There's 12 of them, but we're not scared. It's also going to be nighttime soon. So I think we got them right at dusk. Yeah, this should not be bad. And we're going to take Kurt here and hide him in the bushes. So that's a nice little strategy you can use whenever you're on these escort missions. And okay, so here's the thing, guys. If we wait for them to close the distance, we'll get better percentage chance shots, right? But we also have Overwhelm. So Overwhelm applies a debuff whenever we have initiative and attack first. So I'm going to value that. And because they're standing in such big groups, there's a good chance that even if we miss, we still apply Overwhelm, which is good. Alright. And their archers are pretty crummy. But that's not to say they can't hurt us, of course. Wow, what a miss, man. That's a unique new weapon. Oh, it's not a unique weapon, but it's a newer low tier weapon that we've seen in the shop, but we've never bought it for ourselves. Kind of want to come up here, hold this high ground, and I think we're going to take this 60% chance shot on this thug wielding this axe. It's a pretty dangerous weapon. And we have some very good shots on these archers. Alright. One hit's not bad. Can't complain about that. And we definitely want to make sure we have our spear walls up. Yeah. If we can get a kill, we definitely want to. And we can also take an aim shot here and look to finish off this poacher. Let's try that. Thanks to Berserk, we were able to have enough action points to do that. Alright, so 2 down. And I expect our shield wall to do quite well. Yeah, he tried to bop me on the head. Did not work out for him. 60. Yeah, we'll take this shot. Wow, we nailed him. Reload. And a 64 there. That's pretty great. I don't even really know what this weapon does. I don't remember. And I can tell you I don't want to get hit by it, whatever it does. Nice. And we moved him up because where he was on the low ground, I expected them to come up here and get behind us. I also wanted to make sure that they didn't inadvertently reveal Kurt and mess us up that way. Nice. Yeah, these poor thugs, they're just so outclassed at this point in the game. Wonderful. Good shot. Perfect. Big hit. Big hit. We can step over there. Good stabs. We'll move here. We want to apply the debuff of having this guy surrounded, make it a better chance for Hungry Two-Timer to hit. But he didn't have the action points to hit himself, so it didn't really matter how we moved. So yeah, I mean, this is going to end up being a pretty flawless victory for us. Just a little bit of armor damage. Would have been kicking myself had we sustained some sort of extra injury. But that was pretty unlikely. The dog gets him. And this is just purely for the loot. Should be a couple hundred gold worth of loot in here. We picked up 2 levels, so yeah, this was certainly worth it. Would have been nice to get some tools, but we did get almost a full stack of ammo, a little bit of food, and then this new weapon, which is a... man. Goindendag? Goindendag. Okay. A metal reinforced club with a spike at the top can be used to thrust at the enemy or pummel them into submission. So it's a spear mace, essentially. It's got some decent stats. It's a 2-handed weapon. Interesting. So I'm assuming it has some of the attacks of a spear and a mace. So let's check it out. What can you do if we equip you, for instance? So what do our attacks become? We get thrust. A well-placed thrust that is hard to to avoid or block. Okay. Plus 20% chance to hit, so it's very accurate. Interesting. And also you can knock out. Very similar to the other clubs. Alright, that makes a lot of sense. I could see that being a very good early game weapon. The sooner you're able to get that, the better. And let's go into Burnfried. Alright, Burnfried, what do you got? Let's see what your actual stats are going to be here. We're going to take a 3 there, a 3 there, and I think honestly we just need to take a 2 here. We don't want them falling behind too badly. We need to get them at least up to 70, or else we'll have a very difficult time hitting in the late game. So now, we either get him Executioner or Fearsome. And I think we want to just go ahead and get Executioner, since we did already take Crippling Strikes. There's no real wrong answer here. Okay, Ragnar. Come on, big rolls. Alright, a nice 4 for his range slot. That's great. I was hoping for a 3 here in Resolve. We're going to take a 4 in Health. I want to get our guys up to about 70. And I think we'll take a 3 in Range Defense. Going for the big numbers. And so I 100% for the person that made the suggestion, it's a great suggestion. I'm going to do it. We are going to get Rally the Troops on Ragnar at some point. I want to get his Resolve possibly up to around 60. I see that being the case when he's about level 10 or so. At this moment, I don't think we're fighting too many enemies that we necessarily have to worry about our entire crew breaking. But this will be relevant later on, and I'm going to remember that, and we're going to get Rally the Troops on him eventually. But for the moment, I think we just want to get Berserk and call that good. Ooh, he also... We need to get Brawny on him as well. I forgot, his big drawback, his big weakness is that his fatigue is horrible. Let's see if it's not just because of a pierced chest. So he has minus 20% fatigue, so that could be explaining it. But let's see what it is when it comes back. I mean, we could do the math. I think we had someone else on our team who had horrible fatigue. Maybe I'm confusing them. Is it Grimold? Yes, it is Grimold. Grimold the monk has very bad fatigue. Okay. So I think we're good. That was just a little free fight for us. We're going to make some money off of that. And we got 2 levels. So it's totally worth it. Just remember, we're really only doing this so that we have time to recover from our injuries. What I really want to do next is go out into these woods and fight something. We have a witch's hut that we've exposed. I want to fight them because they drop really good crafting materials. But I kind of don't want to fight them because the chances of one of our brothers getting hexed and then turned against us and killing us seems high to me. Yeah, I would not be looking forward to that. And we see here our morale is actually dropping a bit. Let's go in here and buy everybody a round of drinks. So a few people get in better spirits. That's great. And we can come in here, see what the prices are like. The prices are good. 21 on our shield. So we can look to sell things that we don't want. Trash some of these weaker items. We're going to sell the... whatever the heck that is. We're going to sell it. The spear mace. Probably just simpler to call it the spear mace. Not great prices on their amber, unfortunately. Our food stores. 5 days is kind of medium. I like to have more than that if possible. But we're good on fish. We're about to run out of grains, so we can grab that. That puts us up to 6. We definitely want some more tools. And ammunition is so dang expensive here. They also have these masterfully cured rations, which last for 16 days. That's great. Can we go up to 7? We sure can. Okay, good. And I think that's fine. If you're going out in the wilderness, I would say bring at least 7 days worth of rations. That's kind of like my general ballpark number. Let's see if they have anything cool for sale. They do not. And we can always check out the contracts even if we don't take them. So thieves stole this dude's crystal skull. I think I made the Indiana Jones joke already. No need to do it again. So follow the tracks. It's pretty low crowns. It's probably a couple raiders and some brigands or something. I think honestly we'll accept this contract because it's very close to here. It'll probably make them like us more. Maybe we'll pick up a little bit of gear. I think it's these footprints here. So let's follow them. And I'm thinking this is just going to be another easy fight. Wow, I see some beast tracks. What the heck? Oh, have we been accidentally following this company? Oh, I think we went the wrong way. They're east. Oh man, I should have read that. Sorry guys. I saw those huge footprints and I was like, oh my god. But yeah, that was the free company. They have 19 members. Okay, here are the footprints. We need to quickly follow them before they fade away and we lose the trail. So 7 of them. They have a leader. Oh, okay. So a bit more dangerous than originally assumed, but only 1 marksman and just a few... So 5 raiders essentially. We just don't want to fight them at night is the thing. Some of our debilitating injuries are gone and we're completely healed. And I don't even necessarily want to fight them in these like hill areas because we could find ourselves just as easily disadvantaged as advantaged. And I think in flat terrain we're favored thanks to our ranged advantage. What the heck? A random necromancer. Should I have read that? I have never seen a necromancer with a group of raiders before. Interesting. That kind of makes this quest a lot more flavorful, to be honest. So we have some nice shots here, some 45s, but this is a 61. We'll take it. Dang, if we had gotten that kill, we could have taken another shot. That might have been huge. Big hit from the crossbowman. That's what we need. And that's Olaf the Bleak. That is the leader. And we are certainly going to spear wall here. And we want kills. We want kills to trigger our berserk and also to start dropping their morale if possible. And we need to not forget that there is a crossbowman sitting back here who is pretty dangerous to us. Big hit, big hit. Okay, good. Spear wall all the way. Dang. Would have been nice to hit him. He's not wearing a helmet, for God's sakes. Okay, 1 shot. Crossbowman moved up and took a huge shot on Lance. Wow, and he can raise raiders. I didn't even know he could do that, honestly. That's pretty scary. I'm going to step back with him because of his injury. And we're going to move forward here. Kind of close the line a bit. Okay. See what we can do. He broke our spear wall, but I think Burnfried may be... Oh, he's putting overwhelm on us with these javelins. I was thinking he might be a spearmaster, but maybe not. This is a very interesting fight. We really need to get rid of these dudes. And we're missing a lot of shots. And right now I'm really just wishing I had a clear shot. We're going to throw down a dog. Wait. Really wish I had a clear shot at this crossbowman. Sorry, I keep like not finishing my sentences, but this is going to be a tactical one for sure. We can just take these shots and hope to hit, but that's not really a great strategy. Yeah. So he comes back as well. Ooh, a 51. Alright, we got him once and we pierced his hand, so that could be good. And no point throwing up the spear wall. We just need to get rid of this zombie. And we could send one person on a bit of a mission here, hungry, and see if we can't get him on this necromancer. The necromancer is not a complete pushover. Wow, come on guys, we can't miss those shots. Yeah, we're gonna just have to sit. Yeah, unfortunately he's not a complete pushover. I see there he has a Scramex in his hand, which is a pretty deadly weapon. Ooh, and the dog took out the zombie and got a hit, but he took a pretty brutal shot from the raider there. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen. Sorry, buddy. But it felt like it was either him or Lance, and that's kind of what the dogs are there for. Good shot on Olaf, and we pierced his leg muscles, so that's good. What can we do? Step up here and take that. Damn. We went for a big hit and we did not get it. And now I think we just need to hurt them as bad as we can to get them off of us. Can't miss shots like that. Can't miss shots like that either. Can't drop a dog. That's pretty nice. Nice. I had a feeling we were going to get some quality misses if I just took those shots. Yeah, we're not able to break through that shield wall, unfortunately. All we had to do was hit that shot, or that one. Okay. And he raises him right back up. That hurts a little bit. Let's drop battle, brother. And he went right for the boss character. Which is rough, but he did some damage to him. He's going to force him to switch weapons at least. Good. Crossbow missed. And he's falling back. All good things for us. Perfect. Had a feeling we would miss there, and if we did, it would at least hit the boss. The leader, I should say. So going according to plan so far. Oh, perfect. So the one we were most worried about is now dazed and routing. So, perfect. Let's drop another dog. Let's give them as many targets as we can. Wow, the zombie keeps coming back. And it's pretty annoying. He's taking a lot of our DPS. And that was pretty unfortunate as well. Like I said, he's not a pushover. We are certainly more heavily armored and favored in that fight. But things can always go wrong. Dang. Come on, Hondo. Hondo might have like our highest melee attack on our entire team. And he just misses like every shot. Feels pretty bad. Come on. Sometimes our dogs, it feels like they're doing more work than our brothers are. Ooh, that riposte is pretty deadly. Luckily, the crossbowman keeps missing these shots. And a big hammer shot on Grimold. Oh my god. Finally, the crossbowman goes down. And we can step up at the very least. But yeah, that really hurt Grimold. His armor is completely gone. And we need to get him out of there. Would prefer not to destroy his armor, if at all possible. We can also see his weapon now. It looks like an arming sword, but it's kind of hard to tell. It could also be a noble sword. Okay, zombie down. Let's drop the dog. Grimold has to get the heck out of here. Yeah, that's all we needed to do. Step up here, take a shot, kill him. Yeah. Is he running? He is fleeing. Okay, good. So it's time to start moving in where appropriate. We have some people with very injured armor and health that we don't need getting into melee at all. So we're not going to. Yeah, we'll just wait. We have so many archers. We could put a couple of our guys in melee. Take some good shots. He's going to become exhausted. Yeah, he's already exhausted. And if we want, we can even look to change to daggers. And not quite enough action points there, unfortunately. Making these little micro movements just to get into a better spot. And the dogs are going to destroy the armor. That sucks. And now he's fleeing. I think even if you destroy the armor, there's still a chance you can get it, but it's just not a very good chance. Would also like to get his helmet, which is worth saying. And we got an arming sword for sure. And Aracel can come here and get into melee range, which is great. And we're not going to get him. That's okay. Okay, guys, come on. He's fleeing, so when he goes to flee, we'll just chop him down. Yeah, no real reason to move everyone else there. So no levels this time. We got the helmet, the kettle hat with closed mail. Excellent. That's a 250 armor helm for us. And the arming sword is honestly not bad. And just a few other things we can sell. So nice pickups there. The helmet was a huge upgrade. One of our brothers is about to get just an enormous upgrade. So even what is Hondo wearing? This is better than our best helmet. So that was definitely a great fight for us. And there, that's going to go on Hondo the Brutal. And we'll do what we've been doing. We'll kind of rotate as needed. What is this? That's a 140. It's much better than this kettle. Who's kind of earned this? Who do we have in the front line? Scaredy, Grimold. We'll give it to Burnfried. His fatigue can handle a bit of an upgrade. Actually, it's a better helmet with less fatigue, so it's just all around a great helmet. Okay, good. And the arming sword, we don't really need to pass that out. And we'll just sell off pretty much all of the weapons. The prices here should be fantastic for us. And we're getting close. We could probably do our cart. So I think we just like the last time, I kind of assumed they were going to take all of this gold from us, but that's not the case. We're probably going to have to pay several thousand to get the donkey cart, but it's not going to be all of our gold to do that. Let's check the shield, 21. That's very good prices for us, and we shall sell. Would have probably been worth it to repair some of this stuff along the way. Okay. We'll do like this, and we don't need this or this. Sorry guys, my mouse just decided to perhaps die on me. May have to go and get some batteries real quick. And I think that's it. I think that's all we wanted to sell. Are the prices here any better to buy? Not really. See, yeah, can't use the built-in touchpad. It kind of sucks. Let's check out this contract. Let's get to business. Okay, So while you guys take a second to read this, I'm going to grab some batteries. Terribly sorry about this. Can't really ever pick when my mouse is going to choose to die on me. But I'll be right back. 1 second. Alright guys, sorry for the brief intermission. Yeah, I used to have a much better mouse, like an older Logitech, and it took 2 AA batteries, and that thing would not die for like forever. But I bought a new one, specifically kind of to use for YouTube stuff. It's a bit more, supposedly a bit more reliable, and it only takes 1 AAA, and I find it dies a lot. So I keep batteries nearby, just like not right next to me, so yeah, sorry about that. So let's see what they want us to do. I think they just want us to kill more brigands. See what they want to pay us. This is not a lot. But you know what, we're gonna, man, raid the caravan. No. I think it wants us to kind of make enemies with another house potentially. I don't want to do that. Okay, so we're gonna leave from here. I'm getting kind of tired of doing these quests in this area, constantly facing raiders. It's the type of stuff, honestly, I said that I would do mostly off camera for the sake of all of our sanity. No one wants to see like 10 raider fights in a row, especially when they're all the same. I'll take advantage of easy like pickings fights. Like that was a small company. I would have been happy to just kind of crush them and see what kind of gear they have. But let's see if we can get in here quickly. Perhaps pick up some supplies. Oh, they have cheap war bows. Are they cheap or are they just like pretty close to cheap? They're significantly better priced than the other war bows we were looking at. We would love to get 2 of these. Then we would just be good on our archers. We'd never have to replace them. So the war bows, as far as I know, they are the best bows in the game, period, aside from any type of maybe a unique bow. The heavy crossbows, however, the goblin overseers carry this like ridiculously heavy, super fatigue having bow, but that has this knockback effect that's, I think, is slightly better than the heavy crossbow. I could be wrong about that, but I usually equip my crossbowmen with those when I can find them. So it saves me from having to spend, so we have 2 crossbowmen, this would be over 8,000 crowns just on crossbows. I like to find them on the overseers and take them from them, if I can. That's not always possible. These are pretty good prices on the salt. If we could get back into trading, that would be nice. We also desperately need some ammunition, and this is some of the best prices I've seen for that, so we're going to pick it up. And I really want to buy some more medical supplies, but let's see what the quests are. Maybe the quest will give us an opportunity to make them like us more. A nobleman is looking for us. So what does he want us to fight? Greenskins, okay. So he wants us to go to like a greenskin hold and clear it out. That's fine. That's kind of exactly what we want to do at this point in the game. And I think we're good. We don't need to spend any more crowns. We really want to get to that ambition and have that being fulfilled. So you find a man sitting next to a hole in the ground. Beside him is a metal stake, attached to which is a chain that runs into the hole. The hole is covered with goat skin. He regards you with a wave, but says if you want to see it, you'll have to pay. You ask what it is he's got. He grins. The darndest thing, sir. A few armed men stand off a ways, no doubt a part of whatever scheme is in play here. Ha! So, okay, if this was me, guys, I don't think I would pay for this. But let's, for the sake of the video, we gotta do it, guys. Alright, I'll pay a bit to have a look. So we lose 10 crowns. Let's see what we got. You flip the man a few coins, he bites them in his teeth, and you tell him to be wary of doing that. There's blood on some of them. He shrugs and pockets the pay. You come to the hole and the man throws a tarp off. A gruesome looking Alp stares up. and hisses at you with rows of sharp teeth and a face like curtain made of pale flesh. There is a shackle around its neck, and the man whistles at the reveal as though it were the first time he ever saw it there. Awful little bugger, ain't it? Don't get too close. It'll have you seeing things, unless you want to do that, of course. Some folks do, but if you start seeing things and you enjoy, then you gotta pay a little more. Okay. You should kill that man, for he mind controls you. Such hideous creatures cannot stand to survive, you tell the man, that is likely to get its way out of the hole at some point and start wreaking havoc on the world, if not more so than usual in a fit of primeval vengeance, the man spits. Go fark yourself. Get on out of here and you ain't getting your money back. You take one wrong step and I'll have to defend myself and my investment. Was a right bitch capturing that thing, don't you know? This is interesting. What do we do? Like, I want to kill it. In my role plays and stuff, I like to always be kind of, it's in my nature to be a bit of a white knight type character. Or at least in a game like this where morals are kind of ambiguous, to try and do what I think is right, or what I might do in a situation like this. And if I came across one of these things, I hate these Alp creatures. I would tell this dude, you gotta kill it. Eventually this thing is gonna mind control you or something, and then you're gonna end up killing people. And then it'll kill people. But I think if we go to like kill it ourselves, we're gonna end up fighting a bunch of armed guys. And while I don't really mind doing that, this could end up being a pretty unique encounter. Maybe there'll be an Alp on the field that we'll have to deal with while fighting them. Who knows? But I think if we say fine, let it live, we just kind of walk away and nothing happens. So for the sake of all of us knowing what the heck happens if you choose this path, let's take it and hope nothing bad happens. We'll cross our fingers. I'll kill it myself. Oh God. You grab a spear from one of the guards and throw it into the pit, striking the Alp through its brain pan. Its pale flesh deflates around the spear shaft as though you'd struck down an enormous curtain. The monster enslaver draws a dagger and goes to stab you. Ragnar the Slow parries the blow and cuts the man across the throat. A few guards dive into the fray, all of them dying in quick and hurried fashion. Though a few of the mercenaries get hurt in the fracas, with the violence over, you collect whatever gold the enslaver had on him. You have the bodies dumped into the hole with the dead Alp and then fill it up. Man, I didn't want to kill a bunch of people. And 43 crowns is not worth all of the wounds we just suffered. I was hoping, really, to get some sort of like Alp, like this parched skin or that mask, that face that we got from the last time we faced them. But yeah, 43 crowns and a bunch of hurt dudes. How hurt are we? I mean, decently hurt. We're going to want to heal before we fight greenskins, that's for sure. And where is the greenskin encampment? It's way down here. Okay. Well, that's okay. That'll give us time to heal. It's not the worst thing. What a weird little event that was. Head over to Dunkwald. See what they've got for us. They also have a Fletcher. Maybe better prices. So no. Back to high prices there. No surprise. Anything unique in the merchant? This Spetum that we never really got involved with. Better prices on medical supplies. We'll take 2. And I feel like we'll also take some venison. That's fine. Really bad tools. We'll pass on the tools. And we'll just keep walking. They also had a triple skull mission for us. Worth noting if we want to grab something like that on the way back. But we're going to a place where I think we can find as many battles as we want to find. We already can see in one little area 4 of these groupings of encampments. And they have marauding greenskins. They also have an armorer down here, which is nice. And I think the prices here are okay. I expect to pay, what is these worth? Yeah, a good price for this is something like 2,300. This is kind of a medium price. Perhaps once we deal with the marauding greenskins, we'll be able to get better. Well, actually, they had a hauberk. Hauberks, yeah, these are kind of medium to bad prices, to be honest. And yeah, really bad prices here. And what do you have in the marketplace? Another armored war dog to replace the one we have. This is too much. This is 185 gold more than we can pay in a different place. But I think we want him for our upcoming fight. And I'm also seeing this pole hammer here. Don't think I don't. I would much rather have that pole hammer on Lance than this two-handed mace. The mace is leaving him somewhat vulnerable, but I really don't want to pay full price for it. The reason we picked up the last one was because it was badly damaged, and we got it for a bit of a deal. So let's go ahead and replace the dog here for Lance, and you're going to get Varg. Alright, so new buddies, ready to go. Alright, let's go down and see what we can find. Maybe there'll be our first orc warrior here, though I doubt it based on the pay. But it's about this time in the game where you start seeing 1 or 2 orc warriors mixed in with the young and the berserkers. So before we jump in, what are our injuries looking like? Grimold is just a little bit hurt, and for the most part, all of our really bad injuries are done. So I think we're good to engage, and we want to do it before nighttime. So some young and a few berserkers. So just like the last orc fight we took in the last episode, I think that was the last episode, perhaps the one before that. But anyway, we fought our first berserker, and I mentioned that time that the key really is to kill them before they reach your lines. There's really no greater trick to it than that. They have no armor. You just don't want them to reach you. Oh wow, look at that armor. I don't know if I've ever seen that body armor on the berserkers before. I've seen the helmets. They do sometimes have the helmets. But I gotta tell you, we really need to take down the berserkers before they get into melee. We can handle a couple young. They're still dangerous, don't get me wrong, but they're not berserker dangerous. And we've missed way too many shots on that dude. Like, he should have been dead, and we should also have some damage on someone else at this point. Which is, of course, not the case. We should have initiative here, and if we do, we'll be able to spear wall again. But if not, at least we have our spear wall up. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't want to jump right in. They're giving us a pretty decent line of sight on that berserker. And we don't want to let this dude go if we can help it. I mean, it's a lot of experience. Dang. He pierced his arm muscles. We took that shot hoping to hit him, but not really caring whether or not we hit that dude. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Doing alright. Alright, and we repelled the charge, so no stuns for them. And we're breaking his armor, so that's good. Who doesn't? Who do we have a good shot on? He has a pretty scary weapon. We'll hit him. And we'll spear wall right back up. All the spear walls. Nice. And they have some javelins. So he did his charge, and he did it on Lance, and he managed to get through. Hopefully Lance can just bop him, and he sure does. He's got him dazed as well, which is excellent for us. Okay. Another dangerous charge. Broke our spear wall. And this berserker's going up and around. Hopefully we can kill them before they're able to actually do any damage. And he's hiding behind a tree, which is just really good of him. And we're missing, which is really bad for us. Yeah. Smack. And our morale goes up. Wow, come on, guys. At this rate, with these misses, we're in a lot of trouble. It's kind of like this turn that they will all come online. I mean, they've closed the gap. They're mostly still alive and intact. That'd be great if he killed himself on our spear wall. Okay, they'll have initiative again. Yeah, and this is exactly what I was expecting. But if I knew that if he did that, he would not also have the action points necessary to take a swing. So it felt pretty safe. We have him near dead. It's really not that big of a stretch to get lucky enough to kill these dudes at this point. Should be able to switch and maybe still take a shot. No, unfortunately not. I don't think we need to drop a dog. $82. Yeah, let's just take that kill. That way we can proc our Berserk and take another big swing. There we go. Now we're mauling them. And here, yeah, we're going to come down and let that happen. Big shot. And we got him hurt. And I think we're going to step out here and hope to get the kill. And we miss. Unbelievable. Get our pike out since we have quick hands. Fortunate misses. We didn't quite get the Berserker, and he's not routing either, which is kind of their thing. He's in melee now. Another stun, but thankfully the stuns don't actually do damage. I think we just have to drop a dog. It sucks because the dog's probably going to get the kill. Oh, he didn't even get the kill. Come on. I feel like I'm at a football game or something. Yelling and rooting for the teams. Yeah, not surprised at all. The dog killed him. Would have been nice for us to get that experience, but it's not worth the risk. 2 shots from that Berserker on a lightly armored dude is certainly enough to kill him. So I think if we move here, we can still take a shot and hope to get the kill. We didn't get the kill, but he was next in line to hit, so we prevented him from attacking, which is excellent. That's exactly what we wanted to do. Took a big shot with Lance and didn't land it, unfortunately. But we did kill him, and we're going to get that axe, which is pretty valuable, and we're able to move him back up. Yeah, once we have Fearsome on pretty much all of our guys, we're going to be able to rout orcs so easily. Just getting a little bit of damage on them, they would all be running right now. Move in, take a shot, and we nailed him. Very good. Getting a bit more of a surround. We can also drop a dog just to help us. Not quite in range. Nasty hit from that cudgel. And we're not going to drop any more dogs. It's not necessary. But we will move in, get a better surround. And be ready to kill both of these before they can do any more damage. He's got pretty high initiative, apparently. The dog almost killed him for us, which would have been pretty sweet. Ugh, thank goodness. Okay. So we at least put Overwhelm on him. There we go, he's fleeing. So we're fine. And smashed. And Aerosol with the decapitation right at the end. Perfect. See what kind of loot we get from this? Just some stuff we can sell for decent money. So it's probably the first time y'all have seen the head chopper. Check that thing out. The stats on it are pretty huge. It's a one-handed cleaver weapon, but the fatigue is ridiculous. And it's not just that it has a high fatigue, it also builds up additional 5 fatigue every time you use it. So it's pretty difficult to put on a person. You really have to have it on a super high fatigue character, someone that potentially has multiple stars in fatigue, and then give them all the talents like Brawny that affect their fatigue. And then you probably need to have, we can look at it here while we're leveling up. It's a perk down here that it makes one-handed weapons. Let's see, Duelist. It will make your one-handed weapon basically as good as a two-handed weapon, because you'll get the bonus from one-handed, plus you'll get the Duelist trait. But anyway, okay, Lance. So Lance, we really wanted to get him Berserk as well, because he will possibly also end up being a lone wolf character out on the other flank. Get him over 70, that's nice. And what else do we need? If he's going to be lone wolf, I don't mind taking a little bit of extra hit points on him. It'll play into his Colossus and become exponentially better. He also just really needs a little bit more defense and a little bit more fatigue. But we'll take a 3 roll on ranged, because honestly, he just keeps getting picked off by archers and things. So let's move up. We're getting close to the hour mark here. We haven't really fought anything too amazing. I was hoping to fight something cool today to go out into the unknown and explore a bit. So you know what? I think that's what we'll do just quickly. I think before we end today's episode, we'll make like a big pass here and come back to Senftenberg after we kind of discover the limits of our area here. So burned ruins. So yeah, when we're ready and we're not constantly suffering from all these debilitating injuries, we'll be able to make just a kind of a clean run up here. Ooh, and this is exactly what I was hoping for, just lots of land. Ooh, what's this? Oh, this is a new thing. Okay, cool. Cool way to end this. Alright guys, this is a lot to read, but I think I'm going to read it because I've never seen this before, but I feel like I've seen this in some of their promotions. And I think this has to do with some sort of quest. So let me go ahead and read it. A golden man the size of a castle sits atop his stone throne with such august stature, it seems even he, as inanimate as he is, should rule the land, and perhaps the world would be better for it. This non-speaking entity with such awesome presence would make a finer ruler than the lot of skunks you currently run into. The bulk of the statue rests upon an enormous disc made of spiraling square stones. Were they coffins, it'd take all of 2 bricks to store the sons of Verona whole. Grimmel tilts his helm up. If it ain't the biggest thing I ever seen, I don't know what is. Raymond smirks and makes a reach for the sellsword's crotch. Stupid. I thought the women folk said that little worm was the biggest thing to ever seen. As the company laughs, you step forward and look up. You're not much for kneeling, but you feel the urge here. The statue staring out at the world with firm authority, and its hands are out at its sides. One upon a sword staked to the earth, and the other supinated as though to weigh justice herself. You nod at the golden sheen present before you. That there is not a single scratch of a would-be robber suggests its austere presence still has some ethereal grip on the world, but that doesn't make much sense. Any smart man would be nicking a fair share from the statue's shine alone. A few mercenaries ask if they can have a stab at collecting some gold for themselves. There's no harm in it. Oh no, I don't want to. No. Don't do that. The statue is so huge, perhaps, it scared off the lesser scapegraces by superstition alone. You've no reason to let a good thing go, like a nearly endless pile of gold shaped into something pretty. To hell with history and the artistry. You tell the men to have it. They leap to the task with the tools available, but the second edge of the arrow maker makes contact, he falls limp and slumps against the statue. Another mercenary goes to help him, brushes the enormous toe there, and collapses atop the sellsword. Just as the company begins to panic, the 2 mercenaries bolt back to their feet and start screaming about amazing sights, sights beyond this world, sights of the future itself. Invigorated by this, the company gladly runs themselves into the statue, the lot banging against its giant toes and falling backward like mimes, unexpectedly finding a very real wall. It's the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen, but each man springs back to his feet, spilling out fantastic stories. You shrug and walk up to the statue yourself, standing before the big toe with its big toenail. The men urge you forward. Sighing, you put your hand out and touch the toenail. Nothing. Nothing happens. You fist the gap between the mail and golden flesh. You angrily put both hands to the toe like it owes you money. Nothing. Well then, looks like you've riches to harvest. You draw your sword out, time to strike gold. You swing the sword, but the second steel touches gold, the sheen of the world flashes over you, as though you'd struck the sun itself and drew blood. The sword continues on into the darkness, like a star across the night sky, and it cuts a world of its own into reality, as though you'd slashed the magician's cloth off his trick, revealing a room with pillared corners and beautiful silk curtains, and the sword continues on until it slams against a spear shaft. You look down to see a man with gilded armor and red eyes, holding his guard with a grimace. He glides across the tiled floor to his right, and lets your momentum fall to the ground. Then he twirls the spear around his back and strikes it forward. You throw your arm wide and close rank with the killer, catching the spear shaft beneath your armpit and driving forward to stab him just beneath his pauldron, driving the sword into the heart. The man's red eyes drain to a pure white, and he goes limp and slides right off the steel. As he clatters to the ground, you quickly look around. Against the four walls stands an enormous bed with corners of marble, each statue shaped to a woman or man, each of them adorned submissively to what looks like a rising sun. There's an elderly man in the bed who is looking at you, bearded, eyes dim, weathered. Familiarity in his stare. He smiles, but it quickly fades. He yells, but you don't understand the words. A shadow slides across the room, and you wheel around to see a large knight with fire in his eyes bearing down with a two-hander. Parry. Oh my god, what is this? You step back and flip your sword crosswise and crouch at the knees to brace for impact. The killer's two-hander slams against your sword, and just like that, the world snaps away, and still frozen in a parry, you can feel the issuance of time and space fly by your sides like a plow wind, and ungodly amounts of suffering, screaming, living and dying, and in the far distance a speck of light that fast approaches until you arrive back in your body, and your sword hits the statue and swings backward so hard it flies out of your hands and sails through the air, stabbing into the earth with an earthen chunk. The men look about one another. You go and fetch your sword. "I think you broke it, sir," says Raymond as he gets handsy with the pinky toe. You tell him and the rest of the men to pack their things. It's time to leave this place. Looking at the statue, you see that it is all rusted bronze now. You think to ask one of the mercenaries if it had been gold earlier, but you already know the answer to that. Instead, you stare at the head of the statue, at the face, at the very familiar face. So everyone gets like a morale boost, and it says, let's not dwell on this. What the heck did we just run into, guys? So, I'm not big for spoilers. I don't like missing content. I would rather be spoiled on something than miss some really cool interaction. And that goes for really any game. I'm not saying to tell me what that does in the comments below if you already know. I would rather get some kind of vague hint like it has some interaction later, don't worry about it right now. You know, if you know what that does, feel free to tell me because I don't want to spoil the surprise. It may do nothing. I mean, for all I know, that was the only interaction we'll ever have with it. But what a cool thing. So we get paid, and they no longer have marauding greenskins. Maybe they'll have better prices. And we can get some cheap war bows. Okay, let's see what we have. Do we have anything to sell? The signet ring. This is not a great place to sell, guys, but we're going to do it anyway. Because this is what I'm thinking. I would like to get 2 of the war bows. We don't have enough. So I think I'm just going to buy 1. And call that good. It's a big upgrade. We're going to give it to Edgel, who has 74 ranged attack. And that's going to be a really nice pickup for us. And we can sell the hunting bow. We do not need that. And I would honestly love to come back and get the next one. It said they no longer have marauding greenskins, but apparently they still do. What do you want us to fight? Greenskins? Okay. It'll be an attack by greenskins, but it's only 1 skull, so it can't be a very big group. But they're actually paying us quite a bit. Defend them and its outskirts from raiding parties. We're going to accept this, guys, and we're going to do it. Although we're a little bit tattered, but not too bad. Our spirits are high thanks to that event. We're going to pick this up in the next episode. Let's go ahead and pause this here before things get wild. Thank you so much for watching, guys. My name is Brett. My channel is Good Talk Gaming. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Consider doing that. I appreciate every single subscription that I get. I'm a small YouTube channel, and when my channel grows, even one subscriber at a time, I get pretty hyped about that. Leave a comment, any suggestions, or if you know what the heck that deal is with that statue, I'd be very interested to know. Without spoilers, please. Without spoilers. And whew. Yeah, and if you have a good idea of what we should do next, my thoughts right now are to go out more and explore. Potentially find cool stuff like that statue and see what the deal is. We have lots of fights we can take, but our gear just isn't quite good enough to get lost in the wilderness yet. I would want our armor to be in the 200 plus range before we start considering that. We're really just one step above raiders right now, even though our levels are getting up there. So anyway, without any further ado, guys, once again, thank you for watching. I'm loving this Let's Play, and I hope you are too. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.